Hello. I want to thank you all so much for coming and let you know that we'll start as soon as the mayor gets here. Thank you. If I could ask everyone to silence their cell phones, the mayor has arrived and we're going to get started. If you all could applaud when he walks in, I just like to do that because we've had a hell of a year. There's the mayor. Mr. Mayor, you're right here. Thank you all for being here with us today. I'm Rochelle Riley, Director of Arts and Culture for the City of Detroit. My office is the Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship because we are celebrating artists who work, celebrating students who want to work in the arts, and doing everything we can to make sure that people know how great we are in Detroit. The Let Detroit Show You How It's Done tour continues today with the announcement of an amazing national initiative that will exist annually right here in Detroit. We just keep showing the world that not only do we learn from other places, but we show other places great ways to do things. The NFL Draft, the Grand Prix, the opening of this magnificent train station next door, those are fantastic. But in addition, we are focused on careers and showing our young people that they don't have to go anywhere else to do anything professionally in the arts. The mayor recently named the new poet laureate, Jessica Care Moore. He soon will name Detroit's first ever composer laureate. And we soon will be celebrating a major anniversary on Belle Isle. You'll hear about that another day. But as Detroit ACE, Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship focuses on the performing arts for the next 12 months, focuses on dancers and actors and directors and musicians and theater folks, and the preservation of fine and performing arts historically, we will also focus on film and filmmakers, particularly young filmmakers. Beverly Hills Cop wasn't the only place to see our great city, and it won't be the last. And the catalyst for all of these great changes that you're seeing has been our great mayor, Mayor Mike Duggan.
Well, good afternoon. And it is my pleasure to welcome Bruce Clifton, Detroit native, and the leader here today to let you know that August 23rd and 24th, right here at Newlab in the city of Detroit, they will host the first HBCU Student Film Festival and competition. It'll be done right here. The most talented filmmakers from HBCUs across America. You get a chance to come here, see their films, see a $10,000 prize, and we really envisioned when Newlab opened that it would be a center of creativity and talent from around the country in a lot of different ways. And so I know our great Arts and Culture Director, Rochelle Riley, first had us do a poet laureate and then a composer laureate. And Bruce, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a filmmaker laureate by the time Rochelle is done. But congratulations to you and thank you for bringing this film festival and competition here to the city of Detroit.
Now please welcome from Michigan Central, the head of Civic Partnerships, Nate Wallace.
Thanks, Rochelle. Thank you, Mayor Duggan. One thing that we consistently talk about at Michigan Central is being intentional. So when we think about intentionality, it was intention that we have over 100 startups here at Michigan Central. It is intention that we have the first charging roads in the country right here on 14th Street. It was intentional that we had Jay Dilla and the Clark sisters at our opening. And is with that same intention that we partner with Autumn Sun Film Festival in order to have Black stories and narratives as one of the first programs after opening. So while it's important that we shine a light on our technologists, our founders, our first movers, and our entrepreneurs, it's also equally important that we highlight our artists, our designers, our architects, and our culture makers here at Michigan Central as well. We believe that artists are innovators and that great innovation requires great inspiration. So we need the help of our artists and our filmmakers to offer critique. We need that human element that artists provide to create the type of place that we want to build. So we recognize our artists as innovators and prioritize art and culture in our mission. And this is some of the first programming that we're doing at Michigan Central, and this will not be the last. So we're looking forward to more. So thank you.
Now please welcome Detroit City Council President Mary Sheffield.
Thank you. Good afternoon. We are elated, we are excited to welcome Autumn Sun that will host the first ever in-person HBCU Student Film Invitational, representing students from 107 HBCUs right here in the city of Detroit. Excited. For nearly 2 centuries, HBCUs have been a focal point for cultivation of African American leaders and purveyors of Black and American culture. The arts, especially film and cinematography, has played a critical role in the fight for justice. African American filmmakers, actors, and actresses have been at the core. It is with great pride and enthusiasm that we welcome and look forward to the HBCU Film Invitational celebrating Black cinema right here in the heart of Detroit. The reopening of the Michigan Central was a bold, bold statement to the world of Detroit's resurgence in the innovation capital of this country, which is why we are so glad and honored to host this innovative and great event right here in the heart of Detroit. And with Detroit's rich, very rich culture of African American history, it is only right that we have this effort to showcase the next generation of culture shaping and thought-provoking leaders in the Black community through film happening again right here in the great city of Detroit. We are committed to creating opportunities that will elevate Black voices and talents and advocacy for diversity and inclusion in every industry. It is my sincere hope as I close that we showcase these amazingly talented young cinematographers, our great city, as we will put on display that they will hopefully endear the future of the filmmakers to relocate and live right here in the great city of Detroit. So we are excited and looking forward to what this brings to the great city of Detroit. Congratulations and welcome.
And now please welcome the council member in whose district this amazing, amazing campus resides, Councilmember Gabriela Santiago Romero.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I believe we're almost done, folks. As has been mentioned, my name is Gabriela Santiago Romero. You can call me Gabby, and I am the proud representative here in District 6 on City Council for the City of Detroit. It is no secret that Detroit is a trendsetter, a hit maker, at the forefront of innovations across many industries. We know we put the world on wheels. We created Motown sound and techno music. We birthed movements and amplified calls for justice and liberation. It is who we are. It's part of what makes us so special. It is why we are so proud to proclaim Detroit as our home. And quite frankly, it's what brought us all here today. When looking for a location to showcase the creativity, cinematic work of young Black students of young Black artists between 18 and 30 years old, from, as has been mentioned, 107 HBCUs across the country, representing 228,000 students, Autumn Sun could have gone anywhere else. But they knew there was no better place than Detroit to host the 2024 HBCU Film Festival. Autumn Sun chose Detroit to host because of our rich history. Bruce and his team saw an opportunity to uplift the creative community while helping to usher a new sustainable economy for arts and culture. It is undeniable that we have a strong foundation here. We must continue to empower future generations of creatives. We must do so not just when big events like the NFL draft come, but on a regular basis. As we continue to increase developments and rehabilitation of our buildings and communities as Michigan Central, we must ensure that we are creating and maintaining space for Detroiters, Black Detroiters that intersect with Latinx, LGBTQ, disabled, Black Asian Americans, and so many more. We must uplift all Detroiters who have been historically denied equal and equitable access. The HBCU Film Festival is rooted in that and helps us stay true to our promise that Detroit is a place for anyone and anyone to thrive, especially our Black creatives. In closing, I want to acknowledge the City of Detroit's Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship, the Skillman Foundation, the Kresge Foundation, Ally Financial, and 313 Presents for their support for this incredible events. And I want to applaud and congratulate Autumn Sun and Bruce Clifton for their commitments in empowering young Black voices. As Bruce says himself, We need to celebrate, amplify, and proliferate Black arts. As a community organizer and social worker, I believe change comes from the grassroots. I'm excited to have Adam Sun here and look forward to the film festival. Thank you all so much.
Before I bring up the driving force of this amazing initiative, I want to recognize another council member who's here, Council Member Scott Benson, one of my partners in many crimes, and ask if there are any other elected officials that are just making sure. Okay, good. And I also want to thank our partners at Michigan Central. I'm seeing Maya and Catherine in the back and Nate and everybody who helped us set this up today. Thank you so, so much. And now I'd like to welcome the person who has become like a son, because I talk to him every day and every night, and who bears the name of his father, Bruce Clifton Sr., who was a longtime employee of WXYZ TV, the founder and executive director of Autumn Sun's HBCU Student Film Invitational, Bruce Clifton.
Thank you so much. I don't really have any remarks prepared today, but we're good now. Thank you so much. For me, this was about what I could do for my community, and that I don't know how long my time in Detroit will be, but I want to make sure that I leave it off better than what I found. And Detroit's been on the comeback for the past 10 years, and this year we've dominated the headlines athletically, economically, and politically, and I want to make sure we dominate it artistically as well, and that moving forward into the future. And I think as we talk about the resurgence of Detroit, for me, making sure that the Black footprint in that holds tight, and that continues to create a foundation for that next generation. So I want to thank everybody who showed up here today, but most importantly, our sponsors, Michigan Central. Thank you for opening your doors up into us. When I first heard about it, I didn't know that much about Michigan Central about 7 months ago. So when she was like, oh, the train station, I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, if we need a venue, fine. But then seeing how the city has celebrated it, and not only just us, but the world, it's such an honor to be able to be here. And this has been 6 years in the making. But then also, I also want to give a shout out to Mayor Duggan, because in my opinion, what will go down as his crowning achievement of his time as Mayor of Detroit was his appointment of Rochelle Riley to the Detroit Ace office, because without her, we would not be here. And the whole point of my program is that we want to open doors for the people who can't get in. And she opened every door for us, and she continues to do so for me, and not only mentoring me as a leader, but also mentoring me as a young person growing up. So I'm very grateful for you to that, and as well for her. But as I close up, the biggest thing is that I want to invite this world to the city of Detroit, because we deserve it, and I think now people are recognizing that value, and I want to thank everybody who just continue to show that sense of trust in me. And I hope that we make you proud in August. So thank you, 313 Presents, Ally Financial, Detroit Ace, I think I'm forgetting one more, Skillman Foundation, who couldn't make it here today, Ms. Angelique Power and Lenise McWhorter. And if I'm forgetting somebody, I do apologize. But more importantly, I do have some people here who helped us get here to this point. We started off with a virtual program back in 2022. So Jason Matoni, the owner of Benito's Pizza, he basically bankrolled that entire project. So I give him a hand of applause. Wait. And I think Katie Montmorency from the Jacket Fork, she's not here today, but she also had a huge part in that. But also, of course, my father, who helped me foot some bills when I couldn't make it over the finish line, as well as my sister Celeste, who would let me sleep on her couch when I was aggravating him and had to leave somewhere. So I think I'm very excited to be here. Obviously, it's an emotional moment for me, but I'm just ready to get back to work. And thank you so much for being an example to how we can serve our community. And I look forward to continuing to learn from you and obviously grow as a leader in this community. So thank you so much.
That was a beautiful, beautiful job. But what you mean you don't know how long you're going to be in Detroit? You slipped that little part, trust me, forever. You do not need to go to Los Angeles to do anything, remember? We're going to do it here. I'd like for our speakers to join us for a quick group photo, but that concludes our press conference. Please mark your calendars for August 23rd and 24th for the panel discussions, film screenings, the award ceremony, and a gala at Michigan Central. One of the first things to come to that magnificent building since the opening that shocked the world. Thank you very much.